The Supreme Court ruled that the health care mandate has been upheld. So Jim, you know, obviously I was actually down on the floor of the exchange when this came down, and it was like the 80s all over again. There was yelling and screaming at the bays by the health insurance.
United Health down 4 at one point, and then down 5 cents down. I mean, obviously the market is as usual ill prepared for divining the story. Look, Justice Roberts sided with Obama. I mean, you know, this is.
I mean, you really thought you had a conservative court that was not going to go this way. It was a bit of a surprise, I think, that they upheld everything. I think we thought they were going to go a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you start thinking, well, like, why did Roberts take it? I mean, why did they take it? Like, who was the impetus to say that the Commerce Clause shouldn't be invoked? Because, like, the idea was, well, it must be Roberts. He's a stricter constitutionalist, and he's going to say you can't use the Commerce Clause to run roughshod over commerce. But he didn't. And this is a win for Obama. You saw the hospitals, which are now going to get paid no matter what. That's really good for the hospitals. Not really clear, you know, to just start selling UNH was dumb because Humana, talking this morning on Squawk Box, they spent a fortune trying to be ready for this. So all that happened is that everybody who thought that they were going to have to pay is going to pay, and everybody who thought that the bottom line was going to get hurt before the Supreme Court is going to get hurt. And there's, you know, so it turned out to be, like the JP Morgan, it was more of a non-event because the one thing that I think people had started to get away from was the idea that was just, they were going to say, oh, it's fine.
And we had heard that the Republicans really didn't have a new plan to come out with, that if it was not upheld, or that if it was upheld, they were going to come back and say, okay, here's our shot back over the ballot. And they didn't really have anything.
No, and you know, my takeaway ultimately is that it's not a great market right now because of Europe. And you get these things where something good could have happened, which is a total strike down, and then you'd be able to say, okay, well, look, you know, small businesses could thrive over this. Small businesses, you know, this is something that if you're a small businessman, you're really worried about because you got to provide more health care than you'd like. And so, you know, if you want to take your business north of 50 people, I mean, and that kind of thing is really the ultimate takeaway is that, okay, we have a now more powerful federal government than we had, and it's much more of a European government.
Don't you think that the insurance companies will now be forced to come out with a budget plan for people, the cheapy plans, so that someone's going to be able to pay maybe $200 or $300 a month and not $900 a month?
Right, that there'll be a la carte plan that is, you know, that might actually be cheaper. I don't know. I would point out that, you know, if you're Home Depot, you're suddenly, you know, you got to spend more money. That's what the takeaway is. Got to spend more money. They said it on their call. I'm not telling them that they have to spend more money. They said that if it's upheld, they have to spend more money. And that's, you know, a little hardware store will have two that has 40, 50 employees. So I'm a stock guy. Whether I'm for it or against it is irrelevant. What matters is that it's going to hurt business formation. This market is
stock pickers market.
Stocks have rallied this year.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going to